like
This
that.
is your man.
Yes,
Look at the screen.
that's mine. And,
And, that,
I'm
and,
gonna
that's,
stick
and, that's,
beside him.
and that's what you're going to settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
Draco. Soldier. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap.
They say love is blind, but what happens when love becomes literally dangerous? This is the heartbreaking story of Edwina Martin, a devoted mother, successful entrepreneur, and beloved community member who made a choice that defied all logic. We're talking about toxic love, manipulation, and the tragic consequences of staying in dangerous situations.
Who got something to say? Who gonna check me? Who gonna check me? Exactly. Bye. Bye. Goodbye. Bye.
This beautiful 37-year-old mother of two was thriving. Born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas, Edwina was the youngest of 4 children on her mother's side and the third of 9 on her father's side. Can you imagine growing up in such a large, bustling family? That environment shaped Edwina into someone who knew how to connect with people. Bringing different personalities together, finding her place in any group, growing up with so many siblings probably taught her negotiation skills and empathy. These were skills that would serve Edwina well throughout her life, though tragically, they may have also made her more vulnerable to manipulation. After graduating high school, she was determined to build something for herself. She enrolled at the University of Arkansas, where she earned her associate's degree. After that, she started working as a phlebotomy technician. She also launched her own clothing line business.
Some mediums and some medium larges. How I flip this around? Okay. These tops right here, these are plus size, and they're gonna be in 2X's. They 2 for $5. 2 for $5, so $2.50 a piece. These army fatigue tops, it's a 3X.
In 2020, Edwina transitioned into a customer service role. She was active on social media, and not in the way we see so many people today, posting drama or controversy. She used her platforms to spread laughter and smiles to everyone she connected with. She was genuinely that person who could brighten your day with just one post, one comment, one interaction. Edwina's greatest source of joy was being a mother. She consistently expressed pride in her children's achievements. How does a successful, loving, community-minded mother end up making choices that would ultimately destroy everything she'd built? That's where Danny Brown enters the picture. Danny Brown was 37 years old, the same age as Edwina, and from the very beginning, their relationship was complicated. They dated on and off for many years. According to sources, Edwina's family members didn't stay quiet about their concerns. They described her relationship with Danny as very difficult. In 2012, something happened that should have been the end of any relationship between Edwina and Danny. Edwina started dating someone new, a 21-year-old man named Daniel Hill. This should have been her fresh start, her opportunity to experience what a healthy relationship could look like. Daniel was younger than her, but by all accounts, he was a good person who treated Edwina with respect and kindness. For the first time in years, Edwina's family and friends probably felt hopeful. Maybe she was finally free from Danny's control. Maybe she could build something beautiful with someone who would love her without trying to dominate or hurt her. But Danny Brown was not the type of man who accepted rejection gracefully. He was not someone who could wish his ex-girlfriend well and move on with his own life. According to reports, Danny allegedly orchestrated an attack targeting both Edwina and her new boyfriend. The incident resulted in the tragic loss of Daniel Hill, while Edwina was seriously injured but survived. But here's where this story took a turn that most people couldn't comprehend. After surviving this traumatic incident allegedly orchestrated by her ex, Edwina allegedly refused to cooperate with authorities investigating the case. And then, just weeks after the tragic incident, Edwina Martin married Danny Brown. What could possibly explain such a decision? When police questioned Danny about the incident, he claimed he was at home with his kids, having pizza, and had no idea about it. He presented himself as completely innocent, just a regular father enjoying dinner with his children while this incident was occurring across town. However, the case took a dramatic turn when an anonymous tipster provided information that led police to identify the two people responsible for the attack. And this is where Danny's carefully constructed alibi started to crumble, because they revealed that Danny had orchestrated the entire thing. According to police reports, on the day of the attack, Edwina had visited her mother's house along with Daniel Hill. Authorities determined that Danny had allegedly orchestrated the incident, probably because he and Edwina had been constantly feuding over their children. The people involved were both prosecuted and found guilty. But even though they had testified that Danny orchestrated the entire plot, all charges against Danny Brown were dropped by August 2012. Over time, Edwina became increasingly opposed to pursuing legal action against Danny. The day before Danny's trial was set to begin, Edwina made her final decision. She refused to cooperate with authorities. Danny Brown had already shown a pattern of violent behavior long before he met Edwina. Danny had a documented history of legal troubles and violent behavior dating back to his teenage years, including serious criminal charges. After his release, Danny continued to have run-ins with the law. He was arrested several more times for various charges, including domestic battery. This wasn't someone who made one mistake as a teenager and learned from it. This was a pattern of violence and criminal behavior that spanned years. So when Edwina entered into a relationship with Danny, she was dealing with someone who had already proven he was capable of extreme violence, someone who had experienced manipulating people. Still, she made the decision to marry and protect him. Was she scared? Or was it manipulation? For 11 years after that attack, Edwina lived as Danny Brown's wife. On March 27, 2023, police responded to a 911 call. When they arrived, they discovered that Edwina Martin had tragically lost her life. The fears her family had harbored for over a decade had become reality. Investigators immediately identified Danny Brown as the primary suspect. Law enforcement indicated that the incident occurred in the wake of a dispute between the couple, but the specific details of what caused this are still under investigation. After the tragic incident, Danny Brown fled, but was eventually arrested by U.S. Marshals at an apartment complex in Dallas, Texas, and was extradited back to Arkansas to face the consequences of his actions. He was charged with serious criminal charges. Danny Brown was held without bail, given his history of violence and attempt to flee. Many people who heard of her story struggled to understand these dynamics. Some expressed frustration with Edwina's choices, questioning why she would go back to someone who orchestrated something like that. Others showed more compassion, recognizing that abuse creates complicated situations where victims often feel trapped with no good options. Rest in peace, Edwina Martin. Your community hasn't forgotten you. Your children will carry your love with them forever.